You have an interest in botany for your art. What does this represent for you?
Well, saying I have an interest in botany is a very wide way to put it. I would say I was interested in how that could add to meaning in my works. So the physical appearance of plants have always been alluring, but I'm interested more so in the properties of what they represent. So I think of, the agricultural use, the medicinal use. I think of where they grow because, that also links to like trade and the history of human interactions and trade in that way, where some things move from one region to another. So they're not necessarily, originated from like that particular place. So food is huge in culture and family, in bringing people together. And I like to think of, how that is an extension of things of family in my work, but then more so in my family line, my mom is a pharmacist, which is like thinking of like medicine in that way, and also being a caregiver in that way to like taking care of our health. And looking into my ancestry, I did have an ancestor that was a herbalist in Osun State, which is my mother's side of the family. So I was thinking of all those things and what it really means to like connect with my matrilineal lineage in that sense, and using these plants as, I know them, I'm familiar with them, but they've been used generationally for different purposes. And it's like looking to the past and thinking of the present and my place in all that.
This is interesting. It represents just much more than just, it has a historical significance to it. And, it represents so much more than just botany.
I think even botany represents more than botany
Yeah.
because even there's there's so much that is just plain to see, but I would like to think that people dig deeper. There's the obvious, right? That it's self portraiture and it has these like plants around it at a time when we see a lot of, flora and like stuff in works. And I think there's an inundation that people just get desensitized to the more they're exposed to, I feel. Like if you keep seeing something in a certain kind of like narrative of work, you start to think, okay, it's more of an aesthetic decision. Or maybe in terms of placement, it just seems more captivating than, oh, this has a definite weird purpose. I think if I was to put like a pig nose next to it, that changes the context. But then I would like to think that the inspiration matters to how one reads the work. But then if one doesn't know that information, it definitely could come across as more aesthetic decision.